let's see. Turn that down. Turn that up. There we go. Very good. That gets turned down. Oh. Turn that down a lot. And roll call. YouTube, working. Twitch, working. Alerts, we'll see. Lurks. We're putting friends before frames. Very important. Very important. Looks good. Got our MySpace top 8. Okay, well then. That was a really fast setup. Imagine doing streamer things, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying, gang? It's crazy. I know it. I know it's kinda nuts. It's kinda nuts. Okay. I think I'm happy with all of that actually. I think we're good there. Well then, greetings, salutations. Oh, it's very good to see you, gang. How the heck we doing? Drew here, heckin' early with a question mark. Also, I have a question mark for you. What's the question mark about? I too am puzzled. Ahmed, it's good to see you. Tweety, hello, Tweety. It's very good to see you. It ain't the Godfather here. How you doing? How you doing, Tweety? I hope you're well. I hope you're doing so, guys. Starting to hydrate, stretch. What did I do to you? A disappointment pack for Mouse. Hiya, Mouse. Hello. Hello. And gone. All right. We got our check in the box. All right. Hydrate. Tweety wants me to stay alive or something. I'm a little... Self-care like the plants. Theirs isn't self-care, theirs is me-care. Oh my goodness gracious. Golly. Okay. Hang on. Alright. Just a quick up-down, okay? I ain't finna pedestrian it all over the joint. Gox, it's good to see you. How you doing? Darth, hello. Oi. Hello, how we doing? Hello from YouTube, it's Guts. Okay, that's what I thought actually. I'm like, wait, no, that's not Darth. That's not Darth's full name. That's Guts' alternate. That's YouTube land Guts. Hello, Guts. How you doing? How you doing? Hope we're doing well. Tink, it's good to see you, sir. All right, guys, shake out your legs. Shake out your legs like you got a churro attached to them. Huh? Shake out your sleeves like you got some dice up on. Look, we got rolled sleeves. No tricks, all right? No tricks. All right. I could have spent much more time today, incidentally, looking away from a computer screen. It would have been good. So this is a good opportunity, gang. Look at something far away, you know, let your eyeballs relax a little bit. And I have been hammered away on this keyboard basically since I woke up. Well, no, I didn't, but like as soon as I sat down after all my morning routine and workout and all food prep and all that jazz, you know, then it was. So, yep, just, I think I'm actually gonna be able to fall asleep tonight. I think I'm gonna do it. How is you, Tweety? How you doing, huh? How's Weekend's Eve find you? Pound, welcome. Makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? Why? Who makes who have a muggle? Can't stay long. Oh, got a party in a bit. Glad to catch you. I am also glad that you caught me. Yes, I am. No tricks, just treats. Daw, Mel. Hiya, Mel. Good time zone to you. Thank you for calling out about that. Appreciate you very much. Suki. Oh, Suki, our proper real farmer. Thank goodness. Always good to hear from you. I'm picturing you keeling over dead from weeding, and I'm like, no, this can't be how she goes. Yes, it's what she would want, but I won't stand for it. I'm not done being her friend. Thank you for the updates, by the way, Suki. That's very fun. Very fun to hear all the stuff. And I'm picturing, like, I knew exactly what you're after, too. You're like, yeah, as soon as my boss isn't so hovery, then I can, like, be in on the call while doing the... Yeah, I just guess we love it. We love it. I'm doing. How's you? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right, Tweety. I'm doing all right. Tonight's going to be a tough one, and I've spent no small amount of time thinking about it. Not stressing about it, but thinking about it. A lot of work. For this and for another talk that I'll mention as we get into this that I'm working on as well. But yeah, good. Really good. Just busy. Busy. Hot Bride and I are ships passing in the night right now, as was said about someone else's relationship recently because of the busyness. That's a phrase that I haven't employed in ages, so now I'm gonna. Yeah, she just worked all day today, so she got home about 7 minutes ago now. So I got to be like, hello, smooches, and then like high five and off we go. So she'll be asleep by the time I wake up, and then tomorrow we're in uniform all day, doing military stuffs, and then I stream again tomorrow night, and then rinse and repeat on Sunday. So we'll get to catch up Sunday night. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna catch up instead of doing work at work, you know? Did we do the eye drops? What eye drops? Were there eye drops? Didn't even see. Where were eye drop contents? I see no eye drop contents. Where? Oh, do you mean did I do them today? No, I totally forgot about that even existing, Mel. Not even a little bit. Wouldn't even cross my mind, actually. I'm doing okay. Got through the week. Got my TV reconnected to the Wi-Fi finally. Got you on the TV for a change. Wow, look at us on the television. Look at me, Mom. I'm going to say that every single time one of you says we're on the TV. Mom, on the telly. Oh, you just got back from the garden. Yep, for sure. Bet. I liked it. It was very good. Picked these beautiful bouquet for me. Aww. Yeah, meal prep. So, case of MREs. Yeah, Pound, that's exactly right. I still have like sea bags full. Like literally I have sea bags full of them. It's pretty funny. I just... eye drops, there's the eye drops. Stop, all right, thumb. Hello. Oh, okay. Get that blinker fluid going. You know we're low on blinker fluid. Let's go. Ooh, that's refreshing. Ooh, that is refreshing. Oh my god. Ooh, that is ice cubes in the eyeballs. Ooh, buddy. Wow. That's kind of nutty. It's very chilly. Oh, refreshing AF, but jeepers. Get kicked in the teeth with chair stream. I'm I just got here. Fine, missed roll call. I know it, Leah. I know it's very sad indeed. Good to see you. How you doing? How's you doing? I mean, I know how's you doing. I heard about a quilt that you finished and another that you're working on, and that you don't like the cold. Oh yeah, I heard all of that because I was there for the start of the stream today. That's right. I actually was there. Not for very long, of course. I was setting up my lurks, and then I had to get back to all of the mountain of work and stuff and things. But I am glad that you guys have the nice cozy blankets for the cold. Yes, I am. Gotta go party now, but have a fun one. Got you tabbed. Thank you, Tweety. I appreciate that tab, and I appreciate the well wishings. I hope you have the best time. Be smart out there. We'll see you soon. Good evening, Blood. It's good to see you, sir. Welcome in, brother. Welcome. How's week's end finding you? How's week's end? For anybody who I haven't got to ask yet, how's week's end treating you? Okay, you could start thinking about telling me some of the tea before we jump into all of the heavy stuff. I'm gonna go give smooches. I'm gonna try. She might already be showering. I don't like to spook her. I don't want to like walk into the room and scare her. You know, I'll happily give her smooches in the shower, but like, I don't want to scare her. I don't like scaring her. So I want, she thinks I'm here, focused, you know, and not, okay, I'm gonna go try. We'll see. I don't want to spook her though. This is no good. She needs to feel safe in her own home. All right. I have to leave Chair in charge. A ridiculous state of affairs. I know. But do keep cheering on us in my absence, won't you? And then we're gonna get flying on this thing once I catch up on how you guys' weekend's eve is finding you. We're gonna get schmoving. So be right back. Worth. Don't mind me. You both need the smooches, preferably while she's awake. Yeah. Do not mean for this to get complicated. It's always complicated. I told you, we're ships passing. Oi. Mafia, hello. Hello, Chair and the Mafia. Yes, Jack, it's good to see you. Scrumtush time zone to you, sir. That 51% goodness. Good to have you, my friend. Good to have you, my friend. All right, we got an update from Blood. Excellent. I finally have a 4-day weekend. Ooh, I got me some drogas out of vehicle search yesterday. And a drunk driver. Doing pretty good. World is just a little safer. That's nice. I bought a car from a tow yard once. Like, it was my second car. It was my second car, Blood. Neighbor of ours owned a tow yard in Rancho Cordova, California. Like by Sacramento, by Folsom. And I got this old beat up Camaro. And I got it home, and it had to be towed because it wasn't running, and I was gonna fix it up and stuff like that. And in my fixing it up, I pulled out a bunch of stuff, and I gutted the car to clean it because it had like water damage and stuff. Like, it was trashed, right? And I pulled out all the upholstery, right? I'm pulling out the seats and jazz, and I find out underneath the back seats, and I was 16. Yeah, at that point I was 16. On my first car at 15. On my second car at 16, and I pull out the back seats and I found bags of pills. Like colorful pills. And I'm like, I don't know what these are, but I'll bet you they ain't good. I actually don't remember what happened after that. Pretty sure I gave them to probably told my dad, and he was like, yeah, let's throw that away. I don't know. So that's my story of clearing drugs out of a car. Yours is a little sexier. Yours is a little more like, doing something good. Mine's a little like, not so much. Oh, yeah. That was not a thing for me. I'm like the most straight-laced kid of all time. Like, get that away from me. I had several people like offer me a joint when I was little. I was like, get that away from me. I started training for the Marines at 12. Like, I already had like pretty strict controls on my life, and my mentors would have no. I saw other kids get absolutely demolished in that program, for like messing with drugs. Oh no, they put the fear of God in us. No, 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 no. I swear. Troa! Thank you for the lurk, my friend. I appreciate it very much, sir. I hope that the time zones are treating you right, my friend. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All them lead foots in Wisconsin. Everything's complicated. Just found shortcuts for some things. Well, that's true. That's true. Binge! Hello, Binge! I appreciate the bandwidth, my friend. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Appreciate you indeed. This is a car from the 70s. I don't need wires. Let's pull them out. Well, that would be true if it were from the 70s. Unfortunately, well, I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, I learned a lot from that car. But it was a 92. It was a 92 Camaro. That had so much wiring in it. Jeez, and I needed to replace all of it, unfortunately. All of the wiring. The whole steering column, the entire harness. Yeah, everything. Nothing worked. That thing was... I basically gutted it down to nothing. It took so much time at like pick and pull, getting parts. And like I said, I learned a lot rebuilding that car. A lot. And then I wrecked it. Because, you know, it was fast. Oh, did you find MDMA? I don't know what I found, Blood. I couldn't tell you. Probably 10K in X. It was maybe. It was a lot. It was a lot of pills, Jack. Whatever it was a lot of pills. The only thing I knew about the car, God, if memory serves, and I think it does here. I don't know why this is like taking up space in my memory, but what I recall is, because he was my neighbor who owns the tow yard, okay? He owned the towing company and the yard, obviously. He said that, according to his records, the car was towed. It was ordered towed by the mom of the previous owner. Her son had gone off to the Navy. He had joined the Navy. We were in California. He joined the Navy, which means he got boot camp on the other side of the country. And then he went to like sub school and he went to go work on a submarine. That was his career trajectory. And so that car apparently sat on her street, like on the curb for like 2 years or something like that. And he's just like over there doing Submariner's life. And this old busted down car that didn't work is just sitting in front of her yard. And she's like, nope, tow it out of here. And so she called it in towed. And now I'm like, maybe he got it used and was gonna do something with it, or maybe he was maybe it was a dirtbag. Maybe it was dirtbag squid. I don't know. Peddling drogas. I don't know. Bye-bye, Benjamin. Indeed. Great thanks to that. Great thanks for that. Now I want to hide bags of those pills that dissolve in water, turn into animal sponges in every car I sell. That's hilarious, Pound. That's hilarious. Sam, hi, Sam. I'm burnt out and don't have the capacity for a stream like this tonight. Wanted to pop in and say hi real quick. I appreciate that, Sam, very much. You're coming in. Means a heck of a lot. A heck of a lot. It's always good to hear from you. Stay out of Illinois. It's scary down there. Yeah, they do have bears. Oh, the bears! The bears! No, I thought you had cubs. Wait. You also have bears? How many animals do you get? How many animals is a state allotted? That kind of special. Some people are different. That's what I'm given to understand, Blood. I don't know. I've never even known a sub guy or gal. I don't know. I don't know that life. Not at all. That's not been something I've learned more. I learned more about submarines and that life from like Crimson Dawn, Hunt for Red October, like those, right? Obviously. And then from Destin, Smarter Every Day, doing his series with the Navy about submarines and some science and some cool engineering. I learned basically everything I know about submarining from those sources. 90s, 80s, 90s Cold War movies and Smarter Every Day from last year, 2 years ago. I don't know. It was like 2 years ago now. First car was a 79 Stang with 302 V8. Light car. It was my baby. Loved that car. Got rid of it because I got rid of it. Miss it so much. I keep a picture of it in my current car. That's hilarious, Pound. You're just like, every time your current car disappoints you, you just like, look at this. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yep. I wouldn't have wanted a 79. That's when you started getting into the weird years with all of the carbon emissions standards stuff, late 70s. Like for me, like I just don't want to touch the headache that is the late 70s, early 80s cars. Nope, not me. Not me. There's a couple like really rare exceptions. Like I would accept, I think up to 77 Barracuda. 76 Roadrunner. I feel like did Chevelle start sucking in 75 or 76, somewhere in there. The Corvettes were already like chaos. Their fuel injection systems were a mess by late 70s. Cause like early fuel injection. I feel like the Challenger was good into the late 70s. Was the Challenger like good till the 77? 70, like 77 I feel like is the mark, like the cutoff for absolutely all of them. I could be wrong, but I feel like there were 3 of them: the Cuda, the Roadrunner, and the Challenger that were good, just like 76, 77. Everything else, like Camaros, I'm a 68, 69 Camaro kind of guy. I prefer first gen. I don't want the 70 to 70. I don't want that one. I just don't like the body style, let alone whatever headaches came from the emissions stuffs. But anyways, I'm going to talk about cars forever. This is what happens. Okay, listen, this is what Blue Crew did. Okay, Blue Crew, the Chads. We started out one night and we just like got to talking about cars, and all of a sudden, hour and a half gone. It's like, well, there went our rendezvous group. We just sat there. It was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 of us. And we just sat there and shot the shit about cars the whole time. Didn't even notice an hour and a half passed. It was, nope, no. I gotta walk away. Okay? If you give bears cocaine, no, you leave you alone at least. That's what I learned about from the documentary. Oh, the documentary. Yeah, Pound, the documentary. I know some people, they're not your average military. Is that right, Blood? Okay, is that all right? Now I am 1 degree removed. This is exciting, Blood. If I have Submariner questions, I'm going to go to you. Cubs, Bulls, Bears, Blackhawks. Oh, Mox. I say we, like I still live there. Yeah. Well, now I'm curious. How many animals does a given state get? You know, it's a lot of animals. But, you know, you get to stake a claim. McHale's Navy. I don't know if I know that one, Pound. I don't know. Hefe! It's good to see you, Hefe. Welcome in, sir. Welcome. I hope the weekend's eve finds you well. Gosh darn, I hope it does. I feel like you would have to be built different to be a sub person. Yeah. Otherwise you'd go crazy down there. The 78 IROC Z28. Yep. And that was, not for me. I know exactly the car, Leanne. I worked on cars from those generations. Like, nah, not me. That's like my dad's generation of cars too. He loved those. That was his baby. It was like late 70s and stuff is like when he was starting to get into building cars, like late 70s. Those were his things. And I just 32 Ford Phantom. Ooh. Sexual. In hindsight, if I could go back 10 years, I joined active duty Navy, be an engine mechanic for one of the ships. Really, Blood? Went to school with a guy that works on a nuclear sub. I hear from like 1 month a year and then nothing the rest of the time. Yep, that's the life. It's apparently the life. Okay, gang, we're gonna jump into the thing. Okay, I have a limited amount of time to work with you guys tonight, and tonight is gonna be some fairly serious stuff. Okay, as Sem alluded to, tonight's gonna be some of the heavier material, which will be news to a lot of people who I've only had the privilege of meeting in the past couple months here. Many of you, if you're newer, don't even know about what Friday nights typically are. You've known plant streams and nothing else. Or maybe you came from earlier in the year and we went through the books and you were here for some of the books. That is not quite representative. I don't think this year, in fact, the whole of 2024, did we have a proper original Gus talk. I don't think we've had one. Maybe prior to starting up the books, but I feel like I started the books really early. I can't remember the dates on them, but yeah. Nope, they're not disabled yet. They are not, but I will be as soon as we get the ingredients going. As soon as we get the ingredients going, I'll be doing that. Thank you for letting me know. I also need to change the, well, you know, I don't know that I'm going to put the banner text on. I still have it on just chatting too. Tonight I'm going to be writing a line. It's a short stream. Normally short streams are fair game for people. Normally short streams are not proper serious Gus talks. But tonight it's timely and I wanted to get through the material fairly quickly because I can. Some material is going to take much longer, and that's why they're multi-part series that last the whole time. Tonight I'm aiming to knock it out so kind of quick and in a hurry. So, let's see about doing that. But before we begin, big thanks to everybody who makes this possible. You will notice if you're around here that there's no ads on Twitch or on YouTube, and that's because I'm not brought to you by those platforms, and I'm not beholden, therefore, to the advertisers, which is a timely cautionary tale to everybody who is beholden to advertisers, given what is going on with, you say, Twitch right now, the sinking ship that is. Yeah, so I'm not beholden to the platforms, and I'm not beholden to the advertisers. I am brought to you by you guys. This whole thing, okay? Because of you. It's because people who have voted with their dollars, voted with their wallets to see that this is something that has a shot at a future. Everybody who has sponsored plants, everybody who has jumped into Coffee or Patreon, okay? Everybody who has decided that this thing is worth sacrificing for. Thank you. We get to have serious talks like tonight's because of you. So especially big thank yous to my public patrons, Aki, Bootless, CJ number 2, Dano, Leanne, Ferret, Goose, Jen, Joke, Abby, Marty, Karma, Pre, Fausty, Zen, Ryan, Thump, Tech, Mouse, Trotsky, Pell, Dragon, CJ number 1, and Zen. Thank you guys. For any good that comes from this, it can be traced right back to you. So thank you. Thank you, and thank you for dropping all of the links. I really appreciate it. Indeed, not a safe space, Tink. Indeed. Also, speaking of Trotskys, it's on a cooldown, my guy. It's good to see you. Started with plant streams, actually. That's right, Jack. That's right. You guys are going to be in Jack's shoes. Start with the plants. They really in with the plants, and then you stick around for the serious stuff. Ghoulie, how you doing, Ghoulie? It's good to see you, madam. I hope that you're well. I hope that October rounded out okay, that November finds you so gosh darned good. It's very good to see you, my friend. It's very good to see you. I hope you're doing so well. Thank you for bringing us into your world and creating this weird corner of the internet. It's an amazing place. Pound, I'm glad that you think so. Maybe you won't think so here in a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I've got more to say about that. I've got some couching to do when we begin, okay? I've got some stuff to do. Just saying hey and finishing up dinner before you start. Pretty fabulous, human. Please pass along my best to your other half, won't you? Just when I thought I was out, he pulled with the plants. I know it, Trotsky. It's all thought out, okay? It's a big brain move. All right, so if you're unfamiliar with Friday nights, there's some to say. We're gonna be kind of moving, okay? We're gonna be flying here. First, there are 3 components what comprise an ideal talk on Friday nights. We don't always get to all 3, but I do try, and that's where we begin. Okay, I don't get to have element number 2 tonight because it's a short stream, because military stuff's again early tomorrow. I have to end early tonight, but we do get element number 1. So we're gonna start with good drink. And while I grab good drink back here, by all means, let me know what it is in chat you are having for your element number 1. It needn't be alcoholic like mine will be. It can be water, it can be tea, it can be coffee. Okay, tell me in the chat what you've got for element number 1. For component number 1, while I grab something for funsies, I think I have an idea for how I want to start tonight's drink. I don't think I'll end there, because of where we're going and the serious nature of it, but we'll start there. We're gonna start with something fun, okay? Just all right. Just hang on. So we'll grab. We need that. That's right. Murica. That's where we're gonna start. Smoke Wagon, Murica. Okay? That's where we will begin. Again, we won't end there, but that's funny, and I want to. By gosh, by golly. Dan! Hello, Dan! How the you doing? Oh, Ezio the baker. Mayberry, how you doing, Mayberry? Welcome in. Welcome. How is you guys doing? I hope that Weekend's Eve finds you well. So yes, ingredient number 1, good drink. We'll start off there. Hey, did I get you your bottle, Asmer? Did I even do that? I'm sorry.
As far back as
it wasn't
I can
so
remember,
good.
I always wanted to be a gangster.
Daka. Do you go by Daka? Do you go by Waz? Don't let me ruin it. Don't let me butcher it. Here I am trying to convey my gratitude for the follow. I take follows very seriously.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Why, Dan? Dan, I'm grateful. Grateful for the follow. I take follows very seriously, you guys. Can I call you Dan? Waz is good. Thank you, Waz. I appreciate you letting me know. Gang, I take follows very seriously. My aim to earn them. You could be, I understand keeping your follows clean. I'm notoriously stingy with my follows. But it is my aim to earn them. With this and all the stuff that I get up to. With all the things that we get up to. So, component number 1 in hand. Component number 2 is good cigar. I do not get to have a cigar tonight because, again, short evening due to military stuffs. Freaking boo. But we'll be returning to some of that around the beginning of the new year. Yes, we will, when my schedule gets back to some semblance of normal. So component number 1, good drink. Component number 2, no cigar, very sad. And component number 3, dear friends, this is where each week I come empty-handed and I must needs rely on you solely. Good company. And I thank you for being here. I am grateful indeed. It bears repeating each week that this is not something I take lightly. It's Friday night. You could be spending that night any old where doing any old thing. And yet here you are, choosing to spend it doing something difficult, stated as difficult from the outset. It says volumes. It does. It says a great deal about you. So it's to you, that remarkable caliber of human, to which I get to raise my first glass. To you, cheers. Perfectly good for now. But I'm eyeballing something a little bit fancier for later. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, okay. Dan, Waz, how is it that I have the pleasure of making y'all's acquaintance? To whom do I owe my gratitude? How'd you find our humble little corner of the interwebs? Did someone point to you in our general direction? Were you doom scrolling on Twitch? My God, tell me you weren't doom scrolling on Twitch. It's dangerous to go alone. My God, Vassar. Okay, Trotsky's got Vassar. I got you. Mel's got that high quality Vassar. Hars, hello Hars. I seem to still be drinking my energy drink. Probably not a good idea, but hey, it's Friday. Also, hello, just in time. Just got back from running an errand. Just in time, which means, wait. Oh yeah, you read it out. I cleaned up my lurk on you right before I went live, actually. I hope that your stream rounded out okay, friendo. Also, if you're having an energy drink, maybe that means you'll be awake for some of this, Hars? Huh? If only I could be so lucky. Silver! Yes, hello! How you doing, Silver? I hope you're having a good evening. Just got home from seeing Mandy Patinkin speak with my bestie, and we had a blast. At the end of his show, he did the thing from Princess Bride. It was so much fun. All the little things. Silver, it's very good to see you, my friend. Very good to see you. What are you having for component number 1, Silver? What do you got? What are you having, Madam Silver, to drink? Needn't to be alcoholic. You having tea? You having that high quality H2O? Or like regular quality H2O? Very good to see you. Hefe's got rum and coke. Nice. Okay, I got you. Oh, Waz, why are you following me? Oh, associated with Madam Silver. Waz is good people. Can vouch. Dang. That's high praise. That's high praise. Welcome in. Welcome. Disappointed there isn't an eagle screech when that bottle opens. There is, Mel. It's just the first time. I already had the seal broken. So that screech comes out when you open a new bottle. I apologize. No, this one was already cracked. So All right, can't believe I haven't followed you sooner. Love cigars and good drink. Dang, Waz. Ugh, would that I could talk about those things exclusively tonight. When did we do the whiskey talk, you guys? Was that 2 weeks ago? Was that 2 Fridays ago? I feel like it was. I think it was the 18th. Friday, the October 18th. You could still go back and find that VOD at your leisure. It's on Twitch, it's on YouTube. I'm multi-streaming to both. So you can follow on one, you can subscribe on the other. It's easier to rewind and stuff on YouTube, so there's that. It should still be up. That one was on whiskey. That was an introductory video to whiskey for everybody. I mean, if you're familiar with whiskey and you like whiskeys and stuff like that, maybe you wouldn't learn a dang thing from it. Maybe it would just be fun then. I don't know. But yeah, it was an introduction to whiskey for everybody who doesn't have a great handle on it, and a little more depth for some people who do. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun. That was a fun stream. I don't often get to do a lot of fun streams, except like right now in this season doing the plant streams, the whiskey stream. Tonight's less fun. Tonight's much more serious, but Gus is always a good dude to follow for streams. Also, I'm back. Troa, thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Also, welcome back. Welcome. Milk, no way. Milk, how the actual heckin' heck are ya? Wait, why did my coffee alert is broken? Why am my alert broken? What, you what? You what? Or I can say, you was? You thought? Wait, why is it, what is it, what is it? Milk! What have you done? What? One of us. Are you kidding me, Milk? I don't know. Oh my gosh, been 1,000 years since I seen you, and the first thing you do is you come back and you do me a kindness, jumping into the capo life? Excuse you? Milk, type in ! follow age, would you? Would you do that? Because, gang, I don't know. Most of you don't know. I would venture to say none of you know Milk. Milk is one of like my earliest followers. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Oh, do you remember what you found me doing, Milk? Do you remember? Because I wanna guess that it was Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's my guess. It might have been Fallen Order though. It might have been JFO. Milk, it's super good to see you, first of all. Second of all, thank you. That's crazy. Jumping into the patrons like that, that's huge. I don't know if you heard me say a little bit ago, that's a vote of confidence that's huge. I'm not brought to you guys by the platforms or by the advertisers. Again, Twitch is having a bit of a problem with that at the moment, but that doesn't affect me because of you. Everybody who has voted with their dollars to give this thing a shot at a future. Thank you, Milk. I will have to bother you soon, TM. I've got military stuffs all weekend. They're going to prevent me from doing it, but Monday morning, mark my words, I'm going to get to hammering away at bothering you about that. Thank you. Golly. Favorite Godfather movie? I don't know. That's tough. I like the first quite a lot, Dan. I like the first quite a lot. Second one is also obviously outstanding, but I like the first just because it sort of sets the precedent, you know? Plus I like the ending. It's poetic. So yeah, I don't. I haven't seen 3. Couldn't tell you. Oh yeah. Friend of Silver is a friend of mine. Too many tabs open. We lagging. You telling me I got too many tabs open? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I do. Okay. Yep, that broke. Things are breaking. All right. I'm cleaning up my lurks. I'm doing it. We're cleaning up the lurks. Look at that. Jeez. Okay. That's a lot. Gotta say. I sure am gonna be awake. Stream was great. Ready to not be playing a spoopy game anymore. Welcome back to the land of the living, Hars. Welcome back. Tonight's cranberry juice needs some replacement after tonight's shenanigans. Fair enough, Madam Silver. Fair enough. Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, yeah, 2 weeks. Fun to always hear about whiskey. We'll check the VOD. It's a fun one. I like it. One of us. Boggers indeed. My goodness gracious. Wait, followage for Tink, 3 years, a month, and 1 month, and Tink's got you beat by like 4 days, Milk? Wait, that means you didn't follow me? That would not be, because I met Tink playing Bioshock. So Milk, you found me playing one of the Bioshock games. Or Apex. I mean, I've been playing Apex the whole time, but that's like Bioshock era. Wow, my gosh. Whatever was right before Bioshock. Nah, you're right there. That's nuts. Or no, it's Tink right before. 1 month, 5 days. 1 month, 1 day. Yeah. Tink here for the long run. Don't even remember when why I followed. Me neither, Milk. I don't know. Part of a raid, clicked with you. I'm super glad to see you. I hope you've been well. I hope that we get to hear from you in the Discord at some point. Gang. This is why I gotta say, okay, it was Bioshock 2 you had just started. I was trolling with spoilers. Troublemaker. The spoilers were I was gonna get spooped. Spoiler! Gus doesn't like scary games. They're like, Bioshock isn't a scary game. Listen, okay. Chris, per usual, excited to just chill tonight in a Gus talk. Rose, hoi! It's good to see you, Rose! Okay, speaking of Rose, fabulous humans. Speaking of fabulous rendezvousers, gang, follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, all those are great. But the best way to keep up to date with all the stuff that's happening in the Mafia community, to get plugged in with this community, to do hard mode for real. And I have much more to say about that. I'll touch on it tonight, but we're gonna be really going into that later. It's to join the Discord. Links in the usual places for the usual thing. The rendezvous are something that happen on Wednesdays. That's right there. The CNR, the Cosa Nostra Rendezvous. This is something that happens each week. You find a group that has a time slot available for you. In fact, I need to go change that right now, and I need to go delete the 7-pum group. I've got to go delete it right now. Right now. That's the one, but it's showing 6-pum because of the time zone difference. Because of the daylight savings time one. Yep, that's the one. Okay, going to delete it right now. Everybody's like, no, delete it. No, God. Nope, delete. Cancel all events in this series. Are you sure? Yes, that group is freaking full. It is full, baby. Okay, the others are filling up fast, so make sure you nab a time slot. There are not unlimited time slots, but if you go to the events tab, you can find the ones that are available. The ones that are still listed, that is, are available at the Cosa Nostra Rendezvous. Find a time slot, commit to that time, and then voila, that's your group. And that is where we get to do life together. That's where we get to keep up on what the heck is happening in one of those worlds. There's no stream, there's no game. It's just doing humaning, okay? We got our reps in with humaning. So if you got something to process, you got something to share, something to talk about, just people, like you get to know people. Imagine, I know, make actual friends. That's what Wednesdays are for in the Mafia. They're a big to-do. They're a big to-do in this group, okay? And the rules to get into the Discord are kind of tough, and that's by design. So don't be surprised if you get there and you're like, these are not like typical Discord rules. Yes, that is intentional. Just like the rules for tonight are tough by design. It is intentional. This is not for the faint of heart where we're going tonight, my friends. So I am, I'll just let you know right now, not for the faint of heart. It's not for everybody. Not everybody is ready for Life on Hard mode. There's not. So I hope I have the privilege of catching up with those of you guys who I don't get to chat with very often there. Milk, I don't know what you're doing on Wednesdays, but I don't know. I was only into a specific game and bam, 6 just showed up. Oh my god. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Gus out here deleting people. Yep, I did, Troa. I did. I deleted a whole group. Actually, no, the group knows when to meet. It's just not visible there anymore. Yay, not full groups. Wait, no, yay, more full groups? More, not. Oh. Mel, cracking me up. All right, gang. So, ooh, boy, this is where we get tough. This is where we get tough. This is where I go into Twitch and make some settings changes, gang. This is not typical for right now, for the stuff that we're doing. Right now, we've got plant streams going on. Right now, we've got, like, okay, a lot of the silliness going on. Next, this upcoming Friday, Saturday, I'm back to full-length streams, and we're going back to the plant streams, okay? That's why you guys see plants around here. That's part of the plant stream stuff that's going on. Normally, there's no plants. But here they are, crowding my space. Plant streams resume next weekend, and Tuesday in it, Tuesday, this is, let's see. Boop. Oh, whoops. That's not what I meant to click. Where's the, oh, whoops, there it is. Raids are disabled. Boom, boom, boom. Moderation. Follower only chat for 10 minutes. I know. So we just scooped up Dan and Waz here. We just scooped them up, okay? Like danger. Follower only mode chat. The raids are disabled. And that's because this is some serious business we're about to get into, guys. And it's often very incongruous. It's very grinding to go from the seriousness of where we're headed with tonight's topic and to then turn around and greet a raid, which I also take incredibly seriously, and I want to be a good host, and I'm simply not equipped to do that when it's so jarring like that, you know? So I don't think it's worthy of all of you guys who would raid on a Friday night. It's not worthy of you to have that be my response. So I disable raids on Friday nights when we're doing something serious like this. The plant streams, they're open. The plant streams, come on in, baby. Come on in. Yeah, and okay, last thing. Tomorrow night is going to be kind of a silly night because I sort of needed a placeholder because of more military stuff. Tomorrow's also going to be a short stream, but we're going to be doing a like a plant Q&A tomorrow night. It's not going to be an official plant stream, but we're going to be doing like a plant Q&A, and I'm going to be sitting here building moss poles because I need to make moss poles and I don't have any other time. So let's do it. I'll teach you guys how to make moss poles for the climbing, the epiphytes. I'll show you the materials, I'll tell you guys all that stuff, and I'll answer any plant questions you guys have. That'll be a time dedicated to that. I won't have any plants to showcase or anything. I'll just be sitting here doing that tomorrow night. So it'll be a hangout session. And then Tuesday in it, actually, I get to play Apex. Guess why? Because of fabulous Dano. Dano fixed it. Okay, I can't go into the details. It's complicated. It involves sacrificing a bull on a mountaintop during a blood moon. Like, there's a lot, okay? It was a lot of technological and, like, sacrificial stuff going on to get there, but we're there. So, Apex works. We're playing on Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to it. I have not played Apex in, like, an actual month now, so I suspect I will be even worse than the filthy casual that I already was. Alas! They know when to meet, otherwise Gus makes them disappear. That's right. This is a threat. It all makes sense now indeed. Just rejoin the Discord. Main got lost in the nether, so yeah, well, welcome back, Milk. Welcome back. Something may have changed since last you were around, Milk, and that is, we've got a handful more members now. And I gotta say, gang, the Mafia is a welcoming sort. So for any of you who can manage to get past the rules to get in, expect your notifications to blow up for a week or 3 as people see that you've made your way in. Because stickers. Beware the stickers. Mafia, you know it must be done. One day I'll raid Gus, just you wait. Hell yeah, Tro, I'm down. We can adopt moss poles, $10 per hour. $10 per. Ridiculous. It's fixed. What's fixed? What happened, Rose? What did I break? Oh god. Oh yeah. Apex. I know, it's Tink. It was literally right after I messaged you. Like minutes after I messaged you. And I was like so salty about it. I can't even. Okay. I'll tell you guys on Tuesday. Or maybe I'll answer it tomorrow night. I don't know. Now I broke Twitch. Nuts. Oh no, Rose. What hath befallen thee? Oh wait, it's fine, I think. It's a will they, won't they? It's a rom-com, you guys. It's a veritable rom-com with Rose's Twitch. The classic will they, won't they? Okay. Ooh, boy. We have not done one of these in a spell, y'all. We have not done one of these since it would have been like January. January, maybe February was the last time we did a serious talk like this that I have talking points written out. I've got some couching to go through. I've got some caveats, and I've got some quotes and some stuff to run from. I will be referencing my notes on this to make sure I don't get too far off into the weeds with anything, because I've got a lot to cover and not a lot of time to cover it. So tonight is going to be a short stream. I need to end pretty close to on time, and that's roughly 2 hours from now. Pretty much like a hard close. I don't think this will take that long because I'm gonna try to move through at a pretty good clip. Plus, I don't want to keep you guys. I don't want to belabor the point. You will understand. By that point, you will know what it is that I mean to convey. I have structured it in that way. It can't be missed. But this is a big to-do. This is a big to-do. Okay, so I'm also gonna miss a bunch of chat. I'm really grateful to all of you guys who are fielding chat. Okay, if someone new comes in, welcoming in like you did, Dan and Waz, thank you guys. I'm really grateful to that. Saying hi, greeting Milk before I got to. Oh, I appreciate that. I will not get to tonight. So this doesn't happen without you. Thank you. Okay. Let's go. 3 things we don't discuss in polite company. Okay, I should preface this by saying I processed a lot of this aloud. Like a lot of this during the last 2 CNRs, the last 2 rendezvous groups. Okay. That would be, yeah, this last Wednesday and the one before. I processed a lot of this aloud with them. So if you were in those calls, there's a chance that you heard some of this, not all of this. Okay, I have fleshed out the idea, but there's an idea that you've heard, or you've likely heard some of this. Okay, it's worth noting, in fact, that a lot of my inspiration for any given talk comes from the CNRs. And that's because the more perspective I'm gifted by you guys, the more robust my schema for understanding the world, and therefore betters my ability to tackle the topics of the world, you know, the heavier things. I get to get perspective from you guys. I get to hear questions and concerns from you guys, and then people maybe even explicitly say, hey, I think this might be a good talk. Or I'm like, I don't know how to address this outside of a proper talk. I need to like think about it, pull some intel stuff together, and maybe turn this into something more substantial than well, I've got 13 minutes. Let me really quickly address it. You know what I'm saying? So this is the full-length version of a lot of the ideas that I started with on Wednesdays. So yeah, you guys on Wednesdays are actively building the future of the Mafia. It's really cool. It's really cool stuff. That said, tonight will be the first proper, like I said, the first proper talk that many of you attend. Would that it could be longer, but time's not on my side, alas. Friday night talks in their true form will resume the beginning of the year. I suspect right out of the gate, I don't know, I don't have the calendar. I suspect, though, looking at my calendar, not the military's calendar, that the first weekend of the new year, like I think it's the 4th, 5th, I suspect I will be saddled with military stuffs, which means that first Friday, the 3rd, I will not get to do a proper talk. Okay, so I'm just banking on that. But whenever I get to, my plan is at this juncture for my first talk of 2025 to be where we begin them again in earnest. Okay, tonight will not be the toughest talk that I've given. Just for some perspective of y'all's, okay? It will not be the toughest talk that I've given. And in fact, it will pale in comparison to the one that I will be giving in January. That one's gonna be tough. And I suspect it will cost us some members. Because it's gonna be hard. Really hard. And even though tonight is not the toughest talk I've given, and it won't be as tough as January's 2025 kickoff talk, tonight will still be tough. And I fear too tough for some. And that's okay. I say this all the time, and I just said this a little bit ago. Hard mode's not for everybody right now. I think it's for everybody, and I want everybody to do it. But realistically, not everybody's there. Not everybody's ready for hard mode yet. I understand that. I very much do. I say that every stream, and here it's very important to say. Some people, sadly, may never be ready for hard mode. It's my sincere hope that they are. And it's my hope that you guys are. Even those of you who perhaps don't believe, you hear something scary like what I've just said, and you're like, I'm not ready for this, I'm out. That's not the mark. The ability to digest this material immediately, the ability to integrate it perfectly into an existing schema, and to handle it with perfect emotional intelligence from start to finish, right off the bat, is not the mark of somebody doing hard mode. Okay? Trying is. Trying. Having the intellectual integrity and the intellectual courage to try. That's the mark of somebody who's doing this hard mode business. To try. And then when you fail, try again. Okay? I say each time we stream, the one guarantee of my work here is that I'm going to disappoint you. I will aim to create content worthy of you. I've got a high bar. And that's owed to your unspeakable worth, okay? Your inimitable value. But the only guarantee, because I'm human, is that I'm going to miss that mark. I'm going to disappoint you. That's why, again, all of our merch is disappointment merch. It's this. It's deep. Yes, it's funny and meme. But it's also, I'm human. So are you? We have this shared. We have this disappointment thing shared. I'm going to disappoint myself. I'm going to disappoint you. I'm going to disappoint others. And so will you. We have this in common. If nothing else, we have this in common. And this is going to be an important thing for everybody present to sort of have at the forefront of their mind as we proceed into tonight, okay? As we wade into the depths here. This is going to get deep fairly quick. Keep this in mind. We're in the same straits. Disappointments, you and I. Humans, you and I. Okay? You don't need to be perfect to do this hard mode thing. You just gotta be a little courageous. Alright? It is my hope that despite the difficulty that you will try. Now, I'm gonna ask one time tonight for a little bit of audience participation. Okay? A little bit of audience participation. So, I know Guts is like, I'm at my TV, I can't, oh God. So, this won't take long, okay? And the timing matters, so sit tight while I explain, okay? But you got your keyboards, your phones, whatever it is you're doing. All right, so don't do it just yet. What I'm gonna ask for, don't do it just yet. Don't hit send, okay? I don't want to see chat move with this one. I want everyone to hit enter at the same time, okay? When I'm ready, but I want each of you listening to answer the question posed by my stream title tonight, okay? By the stream title happening over there. Repeat answers are fine. I'm hoping to get a lot of responses here in chat, and I have a very specific reason why that I'll get into. So don't hit send yet. Don't hit send yet. Okay? But the question is, what are the 3 things we don't discuss in polite society? You can put in all 3 if you want. You can put in just 1 of them, 2 of them, whatever it is, okay? You can even put in 4 if you can think of a 4th, okay? But just type it up. Don't hit enter. Just type it up and get it ready to go, all right? What are the 3 things we don't talk about in polite company, in polite society? Okay. What are those things? Got them typed up. No cheating. Okay. I'm cheating. I do want max participation because I have a specific reason why. I got to do this with the rendezvous, and I was not surprised to get the answers that I did. Okay. So, okay, you ready? Got it all typed up? Okay. 3, 2, 1, send. Go ahead, hit enter on it, send to that thing. What are the 3 things we don't discuss in polite company? Okay, let's see here. Ooh, okay. Boom, it's good to see you, my friend. Religion, politics, money, sex. Indeed, okay, politics, emotions, sex. Okay, religion, politics, and money. Politics, religion, sex. Politics, religion, sexual orientation. Religion, politics, money. Religion, politics, the great pumpkin, Linus, obviously, but actually money. Mental health, religion, sex. Nice. Okay, ours. I got you. Money, politics, Goax being awesome. You're right. That's like off limits, Goax. Because like the cars thing earlier, I'll just go off into the weeds. We don't have the time. Who does? Religion, politics, money, sexuality. Okay. Money, drug use, religion. Ooh, fascinating. Okay. Thank you guys to everybody who partook. This is exactly what I'm after. I got religion, sex, politics, that YouTube delay. Yeah, Guts, I got you. YouTube is a longer delay than Twitch is, you guys. And that's because YouTube has a bunch more system to float through and a bunch more encoding type stuff for the higher qualities. So thank you, Guts. I appreciate you getting into there. Walked away, so I missed the question. It's the titular question, my friend. What are the 3 things we don't talk about? Roast beef, a chicken, some pizza. Wait, this is serious talk. Indeed. Yeah, it's the title question of tonight. What are the 3 things we don't talk about in polite company, in polite society? What are they? Okay, cool. We got those things. I'm gonna come back to all of this. I wanted you guys to see this. I'm gonna come back to all of this after some couching. Okay, for the rest of tonight, death also. For the rest of tonight, I'll be asking a lot of rhetorical questions, okay? So this will, more or less, conclude the audience participation form of the thing. I'm going to be asking for rhetorical effect a lot of questions that are, in many ways, would be a disservice for you to jump in and type in the answers to. You're welcome to, but I also don't want to. Okay. How do I say this? Okay. I'm gonna do something ill-advised. Perhaps careless. I'm going to tip my hand before we even begin by explaining this next thing, okay? Not because I have to, and not because I don't know the danger, okay? But because I care about you guys. And I don't want to embarrass anyone, even if they deserve it for walking into a trap, okay? Rhetorical or otherwise. So as a warning, if you feel at any point as we proceed into tonight's work, if you feel your blood temperature rising and you feel you absolutely must type out some refutation or lambast of something you're hearing, be advised, this is not my first time thinking or talking through these notions, okay? It is very unlikely that your point would be novel to me, though I know that some people will think that, okay? But more on that in a bit. What's more, I will be laying out a line of rhetoric here, okay? A line of rationale that will make sense in aggregate and in context. So if someone jumps in the middle of this and is like, let me just dunk on this dude, I promise it will not end well for that person. And if if someone out there is still convinced that no discussion on this matter could possibly do without their sage-like interjection, here's a quote that I thought appropriate to have at our outset tonight. It's a quote that I think is really only useful to the wise, or those who value wisdom, because who is wise? I think it is valuable to those who seek wisdom, who value wisdom, who pursue it. I don't suspect it will be of use to anyone else. I've been chewing on this text, I've been chewing on this quote for about 8 years. So, here's a quote that we can kick off with that maybe will make some people think twice about trolling this thing. If only there were evil people somewhere insidiously committing evil deeds, and it were necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. Now that quote is from Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And if you're not familiar with Solzhenitsyn and his flagship work, The Gulag Archipelago, I obviously recommend it, but I can't say that you'll get through it in any sort of timely manner. It's a tome in the literal sense of the word. These 3 books back there that are dark, you can barely make them out right here. There are 3 books. That's all one book. This is a paperback. They can't print it to be so big, so this is broken down into 3 copies, okay? It is an enormous undertaking to tackle the Gulag Archipelago. Binge is doing it right now. Binge just bit into that monster, and he's like, if you haven't seen much of Binge lately, or if when you do see him, he's sort of pacing and brooding and sort of like fussing, that's because he's spiraling in misery, learning about humans. So, I'm going to say that quote again. If only there were evil people somewhere insidiously committing evil deeds, and it were necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and to destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. Keep that in mind as we step into this tonight, okay? And should you wish to discuss that or any of these ideas further, and I obviously encourage that you do, Wednesdays, the rendezvous, okay? The rendezvous. We've spent over a year now building out the infrastructure for exactly this thing, okay? And if you have specific things that you want to bring up with that group, I encourage you to take notes. Jot down notes to yourself. Use your crew chat if you want to, for those of you who are in a crew already. However you want to do it, okay? In order to remind yourself to what topic to bring up, what point you want to bring up, something, an idea or a notion you want to wrestle with, okay? That's where we get to do this in the Mafia. That's where we get to do it. So, okay. Back to the titular question. And yes, I'm going to keep using the word titular because it's a hilarious word and not enough people use it, I gotta say. Back to the titular question. We're finished with our couching. So besides those of you who are in the CNRs for this, okay, have y'all ever questioned, besides those of you who like did so because I walked through it with you and we were doing this during the rendezvous, besides y'all, have any of the rest of you ever questioned the wisdom of that particular idiom? 3 things we don't talk about, 4 things, 2 things, the things, whatever, however it's phrased, right? Whatever the specific wording is. The things we don't talk about in polite company or polite society, okay? I'll admit, I had not. Not really. Not expressly. It always seemed like sound advice, right? Like, you're sitting around the table for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, an extended or distant family comes around. You see them like once a year, yeah. What's the fastest way in that setting to turn an otherwise peaceful, fine, normal meal into like misery, just awful, terrible? What's the fastest way to do that when you just like sit around the table with people? It's to talk about any of those three things, right? That's what you do. You start talking about those three things and you just went from a nice dinner to just misery, right? So that makes sense. And when I was younger, I never felt the need to question this particular saying. It keeps the peace, right? Because that makes sense. Look, it keeps the peace. But here's where tonight's story begins. Yes, you can avoid difficult or awkward encounters, okay? Like, you can avoid that difficult, awkward encounter with those family members by giving these topics a wide berth, yeah? Stay far away from them. That's true. That's absolutely true. Congratulations. You've kept the peace. But for how long? Keeping the peace is not a notion that ought to be looked at in a vacuum. One of my assertions tonight, okay? That's a tougher, that doesn't sound like much, but I'm going to repeat it again because this is something of a sticking point, all right? This is something we can't miss. We'll miss a lot if we miss this. Keeping the peace is not a notion or an ideal that can be properly examined in a vacuum. You've got to examine it in the wild, okay? Yes, avoiding those difficult topics for one dinner means that one dinner, that dinner will likely be uneventful and therefore manageable, therefore bearable, therefore fine. But do you always avoid those topics? Here's the thing. Talking through tough things makes us tough. It's really simple, right? Working through tough things makes us tough. It's the same way that doing a tough workout makes you tough. So what happens when you never talk about the tough things? What happens when you always opt for a nice, uneventful dinner? Yeah, you never get strong. Therefore, the thesis I present to you tonight is this. The same idiom, what bids us avoid difficult topics, is the same one when, writ large, kneecaps our ability to discuss them at all. The same idiom, what bids us avoid difficult topics, is the same one when, writ large, kneecaps our ability to discuss them at all. I have some thoughts about this that I want to discuss tonight before we continue to current events, before we continue to politics. How many streamers do you know? Rhetorical question, but I invite you to look. I invite you to keep an eye out for this. It doesn't need to be right now. It doesn't need to be tonight. But I invite you to do a little bit of a social experiment here, okay? Go through your list of follows. Maybe not the whole list. Some of you have a very long list, okay? And I invite you to go look at their chat rules. Now, I had to look this up because I didn't know how to do this. If you've already agreed to their chat rules and it doesn't pop up when you prompt by typing into their little chat thing, the little rules window doesn't pop up, you can go revisit it. You click on the little gear icon down at the bottom for your chat settings, and in there it says like view chat rules or review chat rules, something like that, okay? It's like, it's in there. For some reason, my eyeballs refused to see it, but it's if they have rules. Some of them don't. You might be fooled by this, okay? Some people don't have any rules listed whatsoever, and so that little button won't be there. That link won't be there. But other ones, it will say like view chat rules. And you can click on that and it will pull up their chat rules, okay? I invite you to go look at them, okay? And ask, how many have included in their chat rules the prohibition of some variation of this idiom? Our title tonight. The 3 things that you guys just shared up top. The 3 things we came up with for this idiom. This thing that people know across cultures, across age groups. We just know this? How many of them have some variation of that? Now, I'm not asking you guys to out people here, okay? I'm not asking, and honestly, don't do that. Don't put their names in the chat. This person's got that thing. Okay, just, like I said, let's see where we're going with this before any of us embarrass ourselves or somebody else, yeah? First things first. I do not chagrin folks having those rules, okay? The no politics, no religion, no sex talk, no age talk, no death talk, nothing too heavy, right? No trauma dumping, nothing heavy, yeah? Which is summed up in a lot of the ones that you guys came up with. I don't blame them. I don't chagrin them for having those rules. And that's some of you guys, okay? Some of you guys here, you have those rules. If you're a streamer, I don't blame you, okay? And I also know the reasons why you'd have them. I know the reasons why anyone would have them, okay? Number 1, liability. Maybe they're somewhat internet or litigation savvy, or at least they think themselves, and they believe that having as a stated rule that someone has to like check in the box, yes, I agree to these rules, maybe the streamer believes that this is a legally binding contract between like user and like host, right? Whereby now you, the streamer, are shielded from any negative fallout that may come as a result of this person's abuse of chat, right? They might say a bunch of hateful or awful things in chat, and you're like, whoa, I had rules. Nah, they broke the rules. They agreed to the rules. Okay, number 1 reason why somebody would have rather than there, liability. Okay, liability. Never mind that that's absolutely not going to save you. But you know, we'll save that. Okay, I get it though. I get the idea. I get the notion of it. It's one extra layer of protection, right? Okay. The second reason might be naivete. Okay, it's not illegal to be dumb. They actually think people with bad intentions, with bad social graces, or just lacking social graces entirely, will read those rules and then go, I was gonna say, but now the rules, darn, foiled again. You need to turn around and then you go hunt for someone's channel that doesn't have rules. Okay, maybe someone believes that, maybe, and that's just, not to put too fine a point on it, but yeah, naivete about humans. And finally, I think the third one is fear. And it's these folks for whom I have the most pity. No one wants to have the difficulty in their backyard. No one wants to have the knockdown, drag out fight in their backyard. I get that. And that's especially true if the streamers themselves are not particularly tough, thick-skinned, or well-equipped to handle that kind of difficult stuff, okay? If you're not super well-equipped to handle life and the difficulties that naturally come with it, yeah, I can get why there would be a level of fear there. And so you'd put the rules in place as sort of like a, oh, please, just follow the rules, please. And then when all else fails, what do? You have an army of moderators who are well trained to spot your response as the streamer to difficult prompts, and they disappear them, right? Just because I understand why folks would have those rules, however, does not change the problem with them being there. Per my thesis, it is precisely because of the pervasiveness of those rules that no one has muscle enough to human these days. Now, I'm not saying, okay, like every single person who has those prohibitions in their chat rules is some sort of monster willfully destroying the fabric of humanity. That's not what I'm saying at all. Again, I understand why people would have them in there, okay? But it is the ubiquitousness of these rules, the ubiquity of their implementation, of their copy pasta. It's the ubiquity of them that is undermining the fabric of human society, of mankind. That's the reason we don't have muscles for humaning anymore. It's because those rules are everywhere. Now follow me. If no one is willing to allow discomfort, when do we ever get in the practice? Answer, of course, we don't. Many of you veterans of the channel will have heard me say this stuff before. That's why I refer to Wednesdays, the CNRs, the rendezvous, as us getting our reps in. People say, what is a rendezvous? It's complicated. It's practice. It's fairly simple. You show up for 90 minutes and you chat about one another's lives. That's sort of it, okay? We might touch on some heavy stuff. That's the goal of them, is to develop depth in those fairly small groups so that we can discuss, we can tackle the heavier, weightier things. That's the space for those, okay? But what I most often refer to them colloquially as is the gym. We're getting our humaning reps in. Okay? That's what we're doing. If you don't have a spot for that, if you don't have a community for that, where do you work out these muscles? Likewise, if no one's willing to allow discomfort, nothing heavy, right? No politics, no religion, no death, none of that stuff, right? It's not allowed in the chat anywhere on Twitch. Where do we practice that? Where do you? No one. Again, I refer you back to the person who says, I don't want that in my backyard. Not in my backyard. I don't want that here. I don't want that I don't want that aggravation, not on my doorstep, right? I don't want that mess on my hands. I don't want that blood on my hands. No one's willing to be the one. So this is me back in 2021, back when I met, before I met Tink and Milk here. Fine, I'll do it myself. Before even I met Joke. Bob, good to see you. Ferret, welcome in. Anybody else I missed, welcome. Thank you guys for fielding chat in my absence. I really do appreciate it. That's what I said at the outset of this, when I figured out how I was going to do a community, what it was going to be about, what I was going to bring to the internet. It wasn't going to be Apex. I decided that it couldn't be. Once I got that out of my system, I had to figure out what was it I was going to bring. And that was me saying, fine, I'll do it myself. No one wants the difficulty? Fine. I'll do it myself. That's the mafia, gang. That's what you've signed on to. You're the exception to the rest of Twitch. You. Or at least, that's what you're supposed to be. When you got into the world as an ambassador for this project. Whether it's going somewhere else on Twitch, going to your work, taking it into your home. This is what you signed on to. So, okay, difficult stuff, right? Difficult topics. We just get rid of the rules, yeah? We get rid of the chat rules. We don't have any of those things. And we just start talking about politics, right? Wrong. Yeah, no, it's not, no. No. Terrible idea. Very bad. And the rest of tonight, I will be explaining why. And here's where we get to the tough stuff. The rest of that was preamble. The rest of that was setup. The next thing I want you to consider is this. Why those three things? The three things that you guys typed in. The politics, the money, the religion, why? Why those three? Okay, think about each one of them for a second. Okay, let's stick here for simplicity's sake. I apologize. For simplicity's sake, let's do this. Okay, politics, religion, money. Okay, I think those were the three I saw most common of. Politics, religion, money. We'll just stick to those three. The rest, don't feel left out. Okay, it's gonna be fine. They'll get roped in as well. Love you well. Sam, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome to a Friday night. Welcome to the difficulty. And again, these are rhetorical questions. You guys don't need to answer them in chat. I'm not going to be seeing a lot of chat. If you want to leave it there for posterity, you certainly can. But rhetorical questions for you to mull over, okay? But why are those three things what are prohibited? Okay? Think about each one for a second. And now here's my question. What do they have in common? Either explicitly or tangentially. They're about the deepest, most important things in life. Follow me here. Follow me. Each of these three topics, categories, no-nos, are, in no uncertain terms, about worldview. The religion one is pretty obvious here, obviously, but what about the other two? Am I saying that politics and money are on the same level as religion? Well, kinda. Yeah. And that's because your beliefs, any one of you, your beliefs about the deepest things, the meaning of life, the purpose of anything, why relationships matter, whether they matter, etc., inform how you will handle those other two. Don't miss it. Don't miss this. Buckle up. How you spend your money, for instance, is an outworking of your worldview. If you believe that one ought to give to charity, help the downtrodden as some sort of moral good, maybe it's measured on some sort of cosmic scale. Good and bad. How much good or bad have you done in your life, right? You'll sacrifice your income to take care of the hurting, the downtrodden. If, however, you believe the only thing that matters is your own personal happiness, basic run-of-the-middle like hedonism, then you won't give to those charities. If you're on one side of this and you attempt to have a discussion about money with someone on the other side of this, what will happen? You will quickly arrive at discomfort. Politics is exactly the same, just much more. It is over and above merely money. So, okay, quick history lesson here. This is a common thing on Friday nights, so I hope everybody, is like well rested. I don't know. Quick history lesson here. Aristotle talked about politicae epistemi. Okay? Politica episteme. I'm not good at Greek, sorry. Politica episteme. 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 Politici epistemi. Jeez, there we go. I got it on the final try. Politici epistemi. Which is where we get the phrase, incidentally. That's our direct translation down to what we call in 2024 political science. Okay? Aristotle talked about this. So here's what Stanford, okay, University of Stanford says about this and Aristotle, yeah? It belongs to one of the three main branches of science. So says Aristotle, okay, which Aristotle distinguishes by their ends or objects. All right? Now, contemplative science is number one. Okay, this is according to Aristotle. Contemplative science, which includes physics and metaphysics, is concerned with truth or knowledge for its own sake. Okay? These specific definitions matter. So, if you guys have like notions and stuff you're developing over on the side, maybe hone in. Okay, hone in. We've got time to run through these ideas in the rendezvous. We've got time to do this, but this is okay. Lock in. Contemplative science, including physics and metaphysics, is concerned with truth or knowledge for its own sake. That's number one. Number two, practical science with good action is the name of it. Practical science with good action. Okay. And finally, number three, productive science with making useful or beautiful objects. Those are your three, okay? Contemplative science, practical science with good action, and productive science with making useful or beautiful objects. According to Aristotle, politics falls under the purview of practical science, that second one, okay? Since it's concerned with the noble action or happiness of the citizens. Although it also resembles a productive science, that third one, in that it seeks to create, preserve, and reform political systems. Now look at each of those three, okay? Think about each of those three. I'm about to spoil all of them. I'm about to ruin absolutely all of them. I'm gonna, actually, you know what? No, rather, I'm gonna let various worldviews do that for me. Contemplative science, our first one, yeah? Which, again, includes physics, is concerned with truth or knowledge for its own sake, right? Many of you are like, yeah, okay, why are we, should I be shook? Should I be worried? What am I, just, Be afraid. Be very afraid. If you're a postmodern relativist, you don't think truth even exists. So why would you spend time or resources in the pursuit of it? You will therefore vote in such a way that will strip funding from such pursuits. Do you see it? Number two, practical science with good action. What does good mean? And in case you're thinking to yourself, my God, there's so many loose ends tonight. You betcha. What does good mean? Does your worldview inform you that there is an ultimate good? An ultimate good that you should care about? That you have a vested interest in trying to effect? Or is it just your current capricious definition of good, whatever that happens to be right now, before you change it again? Does someone get to take your money? Taxes. and put it toward what they think is good. You will therefore vote against someone else's idea of good if it conflicts with your definition of good. Do you see it? And number 3, productive science with making useful or beautiful objects. If you're one of the thousands of different kinds of pagan, the fashioning of idols or totems might matter a great deal to you. It's making beautiful objects, and would be worth spending collective resources on. You believe so? You might, therefore, vote in such a way as to allocate those resources accordingly. I can think of 1,000 examples here. 1,000, maybe more, but you take my meaning. Your worldview is what's under your politics. Put another way, politics is the outward expression of your innermost beliefs. Politics is the outward expression of your innermost beliefs. And if you're sitting here saying, Gus, but what if I don't have a worldview? What if I don't know anything about this stuff? And here's one of the reasons why I also said maybe hold your remarks, because I'm going places and I might step all over what you said. Apologies if that's you. Gus, I don't know anything about worldview. Gus, I don't have this stuff figured out. Gus, I don't study these things. You're giving me too much credit. You're going too deep. It ain't that deep, Gus. Gus, I don't have a worldview. If that's you, then you don't know what a worldview is. I hate to be the one to tell you. Everyone, that's you, okay? Everyone has a worldview, even if it's impoverished, even if it's not fleshed out. In fact, one's worldview, in case you're like, but I don't know what mine is, then that's fine. You know what? One's worldview can be reverse engineered by looking at how you vote. That's right. I can look at how you conduct yourself politically, and socially for that matter, and tell you what you believe. And if that sounds familiar, it's because I talk about this all the time. Or maybe you haven't noticed. What do I say every time someone new follows on Twitch? What do I say? Matter of fact, this one can be an audience participation thing. I'm gonna grab something a little nicer, because where we tread next. What do I say? You guys can type it in if you want to. I don't care if there's repeat answers. What do I say? Said it tonight. What do I say every single time a new person follows? I'll save that. I'll save that. A little bit of bottle asthma. Hope to earn it. Keep your follows clean. What can I call you? Don't let me butcher it. Thank you for the follow. I take them very seriously. I hope to earn it. How'd you find our humble little corner of the internet? Spell it out Barney style. Make it marine proof. Sure. I'm on a raid. Doom scrolling. Some reason I do not do something to earn it. Unfollow. Sure. There's a phrase that I employ quite a lot. I say that a follow is something I take quite seriously, right? It's something that is a vote of confidence. A vote of confidence, yes, that I take very seriously. A what? Say the same thing with raids. It's a what? A vote. You're deciding to be here on Friday night. A vote of confidence. A vote. Each day of your life, you vote for and against all manner of things, even if you don't do so consciously, even if you don't realize you're doing it. And as I've said before, in some of my more raw moments, you show me your bank account, you show me your bank transactions for the year, and I'll tell you what you worship. You show me your schedule, you show me your breakdown of your week, minute by minute, hour by hour. I'll tell you what you worship. Surprise. You have a worldview. And while you might not like the word worship in there, it's apt. So back to politics. Why can't we simply have a civil conversation about specific policies here in 2024? Why can't we? Why can't we? Do you see it yet? Why can't we simply talk about some policy decision? We can't simply talk about policy decisions because we can't simply talk about worldviews. We can't talk about policies because we can't talk about the worldviews that underpin them, that underpin those policies. Because don't forget, we've heard our entire lives, right? That's why everybody can answer it. That's why my little experiment here includes many countries, incidentally. Different languages, different cultures, different backgrounds, different age ranges. Everybody's heard some variation of, there are 3 things we don't talk about in polite company. And now, as a consequence, we don't have the muscles for any of this. I watch several YouTube channels, okay? I'm subscribed to several YouTube channels that are about finance, okay? I don't know if any of you watch such things, round out your understanding of the world and just money, broadly speaking, all that stuff, but I do, okay? I do. And if any of you do, you might notice something interesting. I don't know if you've noticed this in the past.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Tori, I'm grateful for the follow. I take follows very seriously. My aim to earn them. A vote of confidence I take very seriously indeed. I apologize for the strictures that are in place here on Friday nights. It's follower only, chat for 10 minutes and all of that jazz, but here it is, we're talking about something very serious indeed. So I don't know how long you've been with us. I don't know what it is you've heard, but welcome in. I hope to earn it. So I subscribe to finance YouTube channels, okay? I don't know if any of you do, or if any of you have noticed, but if you do, okay, go ahead and take a look the next time you watch a video from one of these. There's tons of them, okay, out there. Economics videos, finance videos, okay, all of these things. pay attention to this. You'll notice something interesting. The comments sections on those videos, your YouTube, right? Your comments section gets heated. Why? They're literally talking about fiscal policy in insert country here. And the GDP compared to the ratio of this. Why do we all get our hackles up over something that seems so sterile? Why do people in the chat, in the comments section of a finance YouTube video, why are they at each other's throats? But now you know better. This is not a rhetorical question that puzzles you any longer, is it? How we spend money, or to put a finer point on it, how others spend our money is tethered to something deep. Something deep indeed. And that's not going to change. Okay? If that's frustrating to you, then swallow this pill. That's not going to change. Ever. How we think of, and therefore how we handle, money will always be tied to worldview. So who can we talk to about politics? A good question. Who can we talk to about such things? Who can we? What if we can't? I mean, okay, like, who can I talk to and not have it devolve into a fist fight? Yes, you can talk to any old buddy about politics, but, it might not end well, right? So who can we talk to and have a meaningful discussion with about politics? By now, you know the answer. I debated leaving it there. I debated leaving the stream there and just ending. Thank you for your time. Good night. I've had people approach me. I would say two categories of people, okay? Two kinds of people. Two genres, as it were, of people approach me in these past 6, 7, 8 weeks. Both of these categories of people, individuals, no group has approached me, okay? It's been individuals each time. Start with Gus. Why are you talking about plants? What? You've got a Friday night thing. What are you doing? Don't you know there's an election coming up? Yes, I'm aware. Gang, why do you think we did the 3 books at the beginning of this year? I've had 2 groups of people approach me, yeah? One says, Gus, this election, super important. I'm like, Trotsky, I hadn't heard. Oh, really? Huh? Interesting that. An enigma, something to ponder indeed. I had no idea. And they say, this election is too important, Gus, to say nothing. This election is so important, Gus, that you would be irresponsible if you didn't use your platform to tell people how to vote, Gus. Please hold your commentary. There's a purpose for me saying all of this. The second category of person says something similar, but pay attention for the difference. Gus, why are you talking about plants? There's an election coming up, or hadn't you heard? Gus, you know things. I wish you'd use your platform, same, to inform me about the issues so I can know how to vote. There's a wide gulf between those two, isn't there? Why won't I talk about politics? Why won't I sit here and use my platform to coerce, to cajole, to convince you who to vote for, how to vote, which way to vote on a given proposition or what? Why won't I do that? I think you know the answer. Let's go back to that Thanksgiving dinner, yeah? Let me just go back to the Thanksgiving dinner we started with, right? You're sitting around the table with some distant relatives that you see maybe once a year, right? And you've got aunts and uncles there. Yeah, oh, right, that's so-and-so. And oh, right, with the bad hip and the... Oh, yep, the dog's got a... going blind. Yep, indeed. Yeah, that happens with pets. What are the memes? What are the memes about sitting around at those tables? The memes, the jokes we have is, oh, there's crazy Uncle so-and-so with his politics, right? Oh, don't get him started. Oh, there's crazy Aunt so-and-so. She's a fanatic for... Don't get her wound up. Why? Now, at the beginning, at our outset tonight, I said we ought to have difficult conversations. We ought to do difficult things because it makes us tough, right? And I stand by that, and I will always stand by that. We ought to do difficult things. But let me get a finer point on this, okay? My reason for saying that earlier, and I rounded off with this, so I hope you got it, is saying no to difficulty during that one dinner means you'll have a peaceful dinner, right? You're keeping the peace. Yeah, okay, that's true. But if all you ever say is no to the difficult conversations, if you always avoid them, that makes you a weak person. That atrophies your humaning muscles. That atrophies your aggravation muscles, your patience, your... all of that, okay? That atrophies that. Your skin gets thinner and thinner and thinner. Am I saying jump right in to that difficult conversation on Thanksgiving with crazy Aunt so-and-so, crazy Uncle so-and-so once a year when you see them for that once a year holiday dinner? Am I saying jump in? No. Why not? Why might I not recommend doing so? Why might I say that that's a bad idea? Why might I go, caution? Why? Who can you discuss politics with? Is it someone that you see once a year for a holiday dinner? Who only hears about you or your life that one time a year for an hour or two? Why won't that work? Why can't you have a political discussion, a meaningful political discussion where hearts and minds are won or lost? Why can't you have that around a dinner table once a year? It's because there's absolutely no groundwork laid for that, is there? I could ask the same question. Some of you are like, well, I have great discussions with my aunt or uncle about politics. Okay. I would submit to you that it's probably because you have some sort of shared pool of meaning twixt you. Why wouldn't I follow the admonition of that first category of person who's approached me? Gus, you must use your platform. It's too important not to. You have to tell people. You have to convince people. You have to win people over. Use your wiles and your ways, Gus. Why won't that work? Because we haven't talked about worldview. Even in some of the rendezvous, which is where we go the deepest here in the Mafia, okay? That's the place for it. I'm glad that that sort of depth is possible there. I'm glad that the participants, some of the participants in the rendezvous are not afraid of depth. Some groups are not there. Some groups do not touch deep things. Some groups are not ready. But some are. Some try. Some exercise great courage. Some press outside of their comfort zone each week, with rare exception. And I marvel. I marvel at those groups. I marvel at those crews, few though they be. Why there? The best we've got. Why can we not, in those groups, say, let's talk about this particular political policy. Pros and cons, for and against, let's hear it. Why might we not be able to do that? Even in the most staunch, like bought in, die-hard, hard mode advocates. Why can't we just jump in and do that in those groups? Why might we not be able to? The answer is because it's not simply talking about politics, is it? Even in those groups, there is still quite a lot of reservation, and we've been at this for a while now. This is not a knock on any one of the groups. This is how it goes. This is how humaning goes. This is how hard mode develops. This is how this goes. These groups have tackled some difficult things. But what if you had to guess, and here's a rhetorical question again, that goes back to what you guys answered in the beginning here. What might the most difficult topics to broach be? What might be the deepest thing that any one person could bring up or try to tackle? You meet someone brand new and they say this and you're like, whoa, we just met. Worldview. The thing that is the bedrock underneath all else that you believe. And again, you have that whether or not you think you do, because it informs your entire life. It informs how you'll spend money. It informs what you do with your body. It informs your health decisions. It informs your family decisions. It informs planning. It informs the job that you work, the work that you're even willing to do. It informs everything. Even if it's a loose amalgamation, a loose gathering of islands of I think I believe this, and maybe this is the right thing to do, and I'm not really sure about this, you have a worldview. However underdeveloped it is, however unsound it is, however much it is shifting because you are learning and discovering, you have a worldview. And that informs all the decisions above it. Okay? So, why might anybody have apprehension about opening the doors to the deepest part of themselves? Because that's what saying, let's talk about politics, means. That's what it means. That's what you're saying. When you go into a call with somebody and you say, let's talk politics. Translation, let's talk about the most difficult thing that there is. That there is. You know, this is a silly example. It'll sound like a silly example, but given all that you've just heard me say, I suspect you'll discover very quickly my reason for bringing it up. I have a new acquaintance, extension of the Mafia, in the extended Mafia community of streamers, okay? A relatively new streamer. They're not brand new, but newer, okay? Met this newer streamer couple months ago now, and I was in their stream one day. You know me, I'm super busy, so I'm not usually like really deep in streams, but I happened to be there for a few minutes, and in those few minutes it was put to me, well, Gus, you're a streamer. Yes. And you've been doing this for a minute. Yes. I was thinking about adding this channel point redeem, this kind of channel point redeem. What do you think about that? What do you think about me adding this channel point redeem? This is like casual, like starting up stream. Everybody's like having a good time, loosey goosey, right? And it's like, guys, what do you think about me adding this channel point redeem? And my response was probably not something that they were expecting. My answer to them was, who are you in this world? What do you see as the meaning of life? What's your purpose for being? Who are you? And they're like, whoa, no, dude, I'm just trying to do a channel point redeem. Whoa, no. I don't know where we are right now. I got a bit of vertigo, right? Like, no. Why would I ask that? Why would I ask them? They just said, I want to do this kind of redeem. Do you think I should? Do you think that'd be fun? Do you think that'd be neat? And I said, who are you? It's because who you are will inform what you do. If you're a hobbyist on this platform, if you're here just for the lulz and trolls, right? You're here for the good vibes. Do whatever you want. Sure. If that's you're just here for the lulz, add whatever channel points you want. Any channel point redeems, any sort of ridiculousness, that's fine. You're here for a few, not for very long. You don't think this will last, you know. You're like, you're here to make a couple bucks. That's all. You're like, I can make a couple dollars doing this, and then I'll go do something. I'll get a big kid job. I'll get a real job. I'll go to, this is just a little side thing. Make a couple extra bucks, right? That will inform how you behave. That will inform how you conduct yourself on stream. Won't it? If you say, I'm in this for a good time, not a long time. That will inform how you behave. You say, I'm in this just to make money. You'll do all sorts of things, won't you? For money. After all, that's your goal. You stated at the outset, I'm in this for a quick buck. Okay, game on. Why will I ask, who are you? Because if your answer is, I'd like to make this a career. I'd like to do this for the long run. I'd like to see if I have what it takes. I'd like to go the distance with this, Gus. I'd like to be that vanishingly small percentage of streamers. Vanishingly small percentage of streamers that makes minimum wage someday. That's my goal, Gus. That will absolutely influence what my counsel to you is about your channel point redeems. And if instead you say to me, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, here to make a couple quick bucks, I'm just going to move on with my life, you know, that will also influence my answer in my counsel to you. Especially if I don't have a relationship with you. If I do have a relationship with you, if I know you, if I know something about your situation, something about your life, something about your outside hopes and dreams, and you're like, it doesn't really matter to me, you know, I'm just here for a good time. If I have that relationship with you, say you're one of the members of the Mafia, say you're plugged into Wednesdays, say you're part of the rendezvous on Wednesdays, and I see you each week, and you say, Gus, I'm in it for the money exclusively and nothing else. I'll do anything. What should I do? My answer will be very different. Why? Because of my worldview. If we have that relationship, I will probably counsel you in light of knowing who you are, where you come from, and what you believe. That's your worldview. I will counsel you examining both who you are and who I am, what you believe and what I believe. My counsel will not be cheap because it will be built on something significant, something substantial. Why can't we just talk about insert political hot button issue here? We can't. Why can't? It's 2024. Why can't we have a civil conversation in politics? Why can't I talk to anybody without temperatures rising and like? When was the last time you talked to someone about worldview? When was the last time you talked to someone about your deepest convictions? Your deepest concerns? When was the last time you talked to somebody? When was the last time you had a conversation with somebody when you said, hey, man, hey, friend, hey, you? What do you think, person who knows me, person with whom I have rapport, person who's not going to run away? What do you think the meaning of life is? What do you think we're here for? What do you think happens when you die? The frequency with which you have that conversation and have it successfully, and by successfully, I mean, not like you've reached some sort of conclusion and you're like thrilled about the answer. I mean, like you had that discussion and it didn't devolve into madness or fist fight, okay? You had that discussion and you did okay. You came out of it and you have some new things to think about and they've got some things to think about and you're still friends afterwards. All right, man, I'll see you next week. for our scheduled get together that hopefully you have. Hey, I'll call you tomorrow. Hey, I'll get back to you on that thing, and then we can go fix that thing on your house. When was the last time you had a successful conversation about that? The answer that you have, you specifically, to that question will inform how many meaningful discussions you can expect to have about politics right now. Gus, it's 2024 and there's an election coming up. Why don't you talk to people about politics? You have a platform. How many people have I here on the Friday nights in 3 years? In 3 years of doing this, how many times have I used my platform to expressly and explicitly talk about those things? Yeah, zero. How successful would I be, therefore, in jumping the tracks to talk about politics? Yeah, not very. Now, I do want to make a distinction in here, okay? There is something meaningful in this. I want to give you hope, because you're like, some of you are, I'll finish off that thought and then I want to go down this road, okay? Some of you are like, who do I talk to about it then? I don't know things. Okay. The reason that we in 2024 talk past each other with politics is for this reason. We don't have the chops. We don't have the muscles for it. And that includes here in the Mafia. We've talked about a lot of deep things before, okay? And there's a bunch of you guys who've been around for a while, and you've put up with all sorts of delvings of mine, all sorts of intellectual curiosities and wonders that I'm like just processing out loud, because I'm an extrovert and I process out loud, right? You've been around for a lot of those things over the years. Some of you are newer. You don't quite know exactly. Some of you have just met us during the plant streams, and you're like, I thought we just talked about plants on Fridays and Saturdays. What are we doing here? What's going on? I've been in plants. And yet, I would rightly ask, I think, how many people do this? How many people do something that is purposefully hard every week? All of the time. How many people that you know? How many of you purposefully engage with something difficult each week? Now, I could answer for a bunch of you. Okay? I could answer for a bunch of you guys by saying, I do. I attend Wednesdays. I make a point of making it to the rendezvous on Wednesdays. You get to put on your humaning resume, I am the type of person who weekly, on the dot, on the money, makes an effort, a serious, concerted effort each week to human, to get those reps in. I go to the humaning gym once a week. I'm the sort of person who I get to say that for you, for those of you who show up on Wednesdays. And again, some of the groups aren't there yet. Some of the groups are relatively new. Some of the groups are still finding their footing. Some of the groups aren't trying to find their footing. I can answer in the affirmative for a lot of you. I try to do hard things in this life because I want to be tough for this life. I want to be tough for the hard things to come. I want to be tough and prepared for the storms that will come. It's 2024. Not just the storms that will come, the storms that are here. The storms that are upon us. Now I could use this platform to do what everybody else does, right? I could have put it in my title tonight. Go vote. Register to vote. I could have done all that crap, right? Why do I call it crap? That's rude, Gus. How satisfied would you be? Here's a little intellectual exercise for you, okay? How satisfied would you be if you said, I'm going to convince someone to go vote? Just somebody in my life, I don't know, they're not interested in the political process. They say, I don't know, I don't really feel like voting. I don't know stuff. I don't understand things. And you're like, listen, voting's super important. You've got to vote. And they're like, oh, fine. So you drag them, right? And you go there and you go vote. And you're like, here we are. You get there to the thing. How satisfied would you be if you got there and they went, all right, sick, awesome. And they pull out a quarter from their pocket. And you go, and they're like, all right, I'm all set. And you're like, what is that for? And you say, I don't know a thing about politics. I'm just going to flip a coin with every one of them. Top of the ticket, flip a coin. Oh, okay. Next one on the ticket, flip a coin, and oh, well, interesting. Okay. How satisfied would you be with this person voting? Would you say that this person has added to the political landscape, the political know-how or depth of the country, the well-being of you or any other? Put another way, are all votes, and this is sort of an inflammatory question, okay? I recognize that, and I invite you to just consider it on your own and not necessarily hammer out an opinion on this, okay? Put another way, are all votes equal? There's a tag that I put. It's somewhere down here on Twitch. There's a tag that I have on my stream here for tonight. It's toward the end. Maybe someone noticed it. Maybe someone commented on it. I don't know. I haven't seen chat, right? I've got chat turned off because I can't afford to be. I don't have much time. I've got a clock. I've got an extra big clock on the screen because I'm aware of that and nothing else, okay? There's a tag somewhere down here that says high information voter. I think that's what I wrote in there, okay? High information voter. For many of you, that is a term that doesn't make any sense. Or maybe you have a guess at what it means. Maybe you can like guess what you're after with it. That is opposed to a low information voter. Now, the lowest possible information voter would be what I just described, right? Someone who's flipping a coin. They're like, listen, I don't know anything about anything. Flip a coin. Let's go. Right? Like every two choices, I'm gonna flip a coin. That's a low information voter. Okay. I mentioned worldviews earlier, and I mentioned that bedrock of understanding. Now, if you have, as I described previously, a handful of loosely like gathered islands of understanding in the world, you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure about this thing in life. I'm pretty sure that like I ought to not explicitly do evil to people, right? I ought to not explicitly harm people. That's a pretty solid like rock of like understanding that I have about the universe. Okay? And this one over here, this one, I think that maybe we should like not, maybe that sort of extends to like animals. Maybe we don't torture animals for funsies. Maybe, I feel like animals, there's something there, and I feel like we ought not do that. Okay, like I've got a pretty good, like solid, like you've got a couple like loose little archipelago of islands that you're like, yeah, I'm reasonably sure about this thing, that thing, and that thing, yeah? Okay. And then you're introduced to the political scene. Why? Because it's been foisted upon you, right? Because it's 2024, and every freaking ad on YouTube is, do you know what prop such and such is? Well, let's go through the... You need to vote for so-and-so because this person's a monster and you shouldn't vote for them. You didn't ask. You didn't say, oh God, let me just delve into politics. It was foisted upon you, right? And you went, okay, hang on, civic duty or some such, right? Okay. let me just take the sort of what I'm hearing. I'm gonna see how that lines up with my sort of archipelago of understanding, right? Okay, this person wants, oh, what's this? No kicking puppies. Oh, bet. Okay, that one listen, gang, this one I'm pretty sure about. Like, I don't know about the finance stuff and I don't know anything about taxes, but puppies are awesome. S tier animals. No kicking puppies. This politician says no kick. I'm with it. Baby, no kicking puppies. Vote. Yeah, I vote for that person. And so you do this. You go through, you hear a smattering of policy positions from various candidates, and you loosely go, yeah, that lines up with this and this. I don't actually know what that means, so I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but they sound awfully scary, so maybe we keep an eye on them? I don't know. So, okay, maybe like I'm going to vote this way with this person with this thing. That is a low information voter. Okay. Definitionally, this is a person who is just now trying to integrate in the political season what they think about the world, it's your worldview, with what they're hearing in terms of policy. Okay? That's a low information voter. What my answer has been to several people in the past couple months now is, if you are getting into politics right now, in October, you're too late. I will not get in line with everybody else and say, just go vote. I won't do it. I'm not going to, because I think that's crap. If you are a low or no information voter, don't vote. That's it. If you're completely untethered, you're on your own, and you're like, nope, I don't know anything about it, don't vote. You've missed the train. Because here's the thing, and I've got more to say on that, and I'm going to come back to that. Here's the thing. Politics, if you want to be able to put on that humaning resume of yours, right? I am a person who, if you want to be able to have on there, I am a person who understands the political climate of 2024. I'm a person who understands the political landscape in 2024. I'm a person who's got a pretty good grasp on the many issues that are out there here in 2024. If you want to be able to put that on your resume, when do you get to check the box of that? I'll ask a similar question. Suki said earlier the wisdom goblin thing, right? Now I'm a big fan. I have called myself a wisdom pirate before. Wherever I can find wisdom, I will take it. I'm after wisdom in any form, any shape that it takes. Wherever I can get it, I am after wisdom. It is one of the, marching orders of my life. I am after wisdom. Before basically anything else, I want wisdom. I seek it. I thirst for it. It's more precious than gold. It's more precious than basically anything else. And I want it. So let me ask you this. When do I, adamant as I am in the pursuit of it, dogged as I am in the pursuit thereof, when do I, Gus, get my humaning resume out? When do I get to check the box and say, wise, nailed it, done. I am a wise guy. When do I get to do that? Oh, right. Never. Wisdom is not something that you get to check a box for. I can become wiser. I can strive, and it helps me. I can have a better schema for understanding the world, and all of that is fabulous and great. When do I get to be wise? Never. The pursuit of wisdom is a lifetime's pursuit. I will die seeking wisdom. However old I am at that point. I don't know, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow and I'm striving to get it now and it will be true. I could be 90 in a deathbed at some point and it will remain true that I will be pursuing wisdom. And I will die in that pursuit. And I will say that it is a worthy pursuit. It will have been a worthy adversary, a worthy chase for the entire length of my life, however long that gets to be. Politics is exactly the same. That's not fair, Gus. You can't compare the two, can't I? If I want to say that I understand all of the issues from all of the sides, is that something that I can say? Is that something that anybody here with a straight face can say, I understand every side of every issue and how it will affect everybody everywhere forever? No. Trying to have a grasp on politics is a lifetime's pursuit. Why? Because if you were politically savvy, you're like, man, I know a ton of stuff. I'm even involved. Maybe it was your day job. Maybe you were like a campaigner. Maybe you were on somebody's campaign. Okay, what was there's a Ryan Reynolds movie. Definitely Maybe. I think it's Definitely Maybe. Ryan Reynolds. It's a rom-com. Cute movie. He was a campaigner or a staffer, I don't know what they're actually called, for a political campaign, okay? In like the 90s. Okay, I think like Clinton. It was the Clinton campaign, okay? He's a staffer for Clinton. And then like a bunch of time passes and like moving on with your life. Okay, that was his job, right? So, okay, he knows a ton of stuff about politics. What about 20 years later? No. He's lost the plot. He's like, no, I don't know any of that stuff anymore. I don't do that anymore. That's not my life anymore, okay? So how does one stay on top of a political landscape? By doing it all the time. If you are jumping into politics in September or October, God forbid November of 2024, and you are right now figuring out how you'll vote, how you feel about certain policy positions, you're too late. You're a lifetime too late. I am, as I have down here, again, this high information voter. I do this every day. Have I ever talked about it? No. Because it wouldn't be useful. It wouldn't be fruitful. I don't have that relationship with most of you. Some of you I do. There are precious few of you. Precious few. That I have that level of depth with. Where I could today say, hey, what do you think about this policy position? Am I missing something here? Here's sort of how I'm seeing it. Do I have a blind spot? And I can get a respectful, courteous, loving answer. Precious few. But I know every policy. I know every position. I know all of the history. I know which politicians have said this and then voted the other way. I know all of this. Because I have pursued an understanding of this for 7 years. Like in earnest, for the past 7 years. So when I said tonight at the beginning, there is no interjection that someone could, but have you considered? The answer is yes. But what you're failing to think about... No, I'm not failing to think about anything. I have thought about it. Whatever it is, I have thought about it. Now, this isn't to shame anybody. Now I want to bring this full circle. I want to tie this up and put a nice pretty bow on this as we close, okay? Here's some hope. Here's some encouragement to you. Here's a pat on the back. Here's a hug, okay? What my hope is for this is huge. My hope for the Mafia is that this can be a community where that sort of depth, in our small group settings, sure, but even writ large here, even in chat, I want this community to be absolutely standout in this regard, where someone could look from the outside, watch the VOD of this, see the chat and go, how? I'm subscribed to a finance channel and they're at each other's throats over fiscal policy in Turkey. How is it that this disparate chat, it's Twitch, it's got to be different time zones, age groups, got to be, the demographics have got to be all over the freaking map. How can they have a meaningful discussion? Just that. I want what you, gang, are pioneering right now by the vote of confidence that you've put in this project by being here. I want you to be a beacon to others. I want people to see what you have and thirst for it. I want people to see the quality of conversation that is possible here and be shook. That will start in the rendezvous. That will start on Wednesdays. Check the schedule in the events tab. Join the Discord. The rules are hard to get in. Can you guess why, after all that I've said? You can follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, sure. But join the Discord if you're ready. If you're ready for hard mode, if you're ready to try this for real, if you're ready to try depth, perhaps for the first time in your life. And then take probably the most difficult step. The second most difficult step. Join a rendezvous group. Find a time. You don't need to do anything with it in the events tab. You just show up on Wednesday, okay? You put an alarm in your phone right now, and you say, at this time, this group, it's listed there, it's available. I'm going to show up at this time. That's the second most difficult thing that you could do. The first most difficult thing, the most difficult thing that you could do is show up again the next week. That's where it begins. That's where we can start again to develop these muscles that as a society have atrophied beyond use. Why can't we just talk about politics with people? We don't have the muscles to talk about hardly anything. Let alone this. Let alone the outworkings of the deepest things. And if you can do that today, and you can start having meaningful discussions today about all sorts of stuff, and then eventually you work your way into some policy questions and positions where you can ask respectfully of your group, hey gang, that I know, that respect me, that care about me, that aren't interested in roasting me. I'm a low information voter and I don't know a lot about like this. Could someone just explain it to me like Barney style in a way that I'm kind of embarrassed, I don't really understand. And then maybe in 4 years, the next time we find ourselves in a spot like this, where the fervor, where the temperature is high and everybody's losing their damn minds and you're getting all the horrible text messages, we'll be ready. Ready to talk about whatever. Maybe just another election. Yeah, the policies, there's no like, you know why I haven't been stressing this? Because there's nothing new, gang. There's nothing new under the sun. Let me look at my calendar here. This is Tuesday we're talking about, right? Tuesday in America. And those of you guys who are outside of America, you already know this. What happens in America affects the rest of the world for better or worse. So the election that happens on the 5th of November. Remember. That's Tuesday, okay? I'll be streaming Apex. At least that's my plan. Hope nothing comes up. I want to play Apex now that it's working. And life will go on. Now, couple final remarks on that. Couple final ideas. If you are a student of history, and I even just mean recent history, and you look at the past several main general elections in America, and most of you are from America here, you will know that election time has not exactly been a clean process. It's not exactly been a kind process. It's not been one that fills you with warmth. And in fact, it's not one that many of you have felt safe in proximity to. Some of you I happen to know one of you, who lived in Portland, Oregon, in 2016, when Hillary voters, very upset that she had lost, rioted really badly and destroyed a lot of Portland. Some of you will look to 4 years ago, very upset that Trump lost, and look at the riot at the Capitol. And here, I hope that you're reading the room. I hope that you're not going to try to add a bunch of stuff to chat. You catch my meaning. It's humans. Both sides. What's our synonym for human? That's right, disappointment. It doesn't matter who gets it. I mean, it matters. But both of them are going to disappoint. That won't change. That doesn't matter. That ain't gonna... They're both gonna screw it up. Whomever. You'll be displeased either way. I promise you. If your candidate wins, you'll be upset at what the other side does as a consequence of your candidate winning, and vice versa. Humans. There's nothing new under the sun. If any of you are shocked by what is happening right now, welcome to the world. Welcome to humans. Now, some of you are saying, but it's worse now, Gus. And that might be true. There might be something to that. And my argument for why that is precisely what I've laid out for you here tonight. Our muscles are atrophying, and they are worse and worse and worse and worse. Weaker now, I would argue, than they've ever been. At no point in the history of this country in particular, but I think there's a good case to be made, in all of human history, have our collective humaning muscles been so bad, been so weak, so underused, so underdeveloped. And I would posit again that is because we run from difficulty. I've said this elsewhere, I've said this before. I don't think that previous generations were just made of tougher stuff, okay? I don't buy that. I don't think that those previous generations were just somehow different. They're built different. I don't think so. I think that if they had the exact same tools that we have now, the internet, phones, all of the distractions, all of the everything, I don't think for a minute that if they didn't have the exact same distractions in their world, that the atrophying wouldn't have happened in their generation. Okay? If you put the internet in the hands of folks in 1890, they'd be in the same boat that we're in, okay? One generation later. Impoverished worldviews, nothing solid under your feet, low information, and weak humaning ability, weak muscles. But you know what? It didn't happen to them, gang. It happened to us. The internet is an incredible tool. It's the medium that I get to do this with you on. The phone is an incredible tool that is lifting people out of poverty and like information, like dearth of information. Like it is incredible, but it is a tool that has cost us something. And that something is our ability to do this thing well. You have to opt in to doing difficult things now. It doesn't just happen to you, it happened to them. Spanish flu, World War I, World War II, Korea, round and round, and all the terrible that happened to everybody everywhere, right? It just happened to them. Now, relatively speaking, yes, this depends on where you are in the world, but relatively speaking, you have to choose misery. You have to choose to opt in, don't you? How many groups of uncomfortable conversation people are you forced to hang out with each week? Are you forced to dialogue with each week? No, we live in a world where you can just ban somebody you don't like. You just never see them again. It's all the internet. Reddit? Please. No, I will not be using my platform to tell someone what to believe, how to vote. Because that would be abuse. It has been, and it remains, my sincere hope that I can do life alongside you, remarkable individuals who choose it well enough for the time required that we can have a relationship that in one-on-one situations, maybe I can have a meaningful discussion with you and just you about politics. Are politics just politics based on what we went over tonight? No. No, they're not. Okay. Last thing I want to say. Something to look forward to in this next year. In the next years. Find people who are different than you, who have different time obligations than you, who have different interests than you, that you trust. I might well ask, how many people in your life do you have? Please don't answer this in chat. This is a question for you. How many people in your life do you have that you trust? That you tell them something difficult and you know they're not going to go blab about it. You can wrestle with an idea with them and they won't shame you for it. You have a bad take and they won't leave you over it. How many people in life do you have that relationship with, that depth with? I, of course, would argue that it is incumbent upon you to get those relationships. They don't just happen. They come through work. They come through effort. They come through intentional delving. Here in the Mafia, if nowhere else. I've said before, be a part of those fun-loving communities. Be a part of the ones that are good vibes only. Fine, do that. But have one community that doesn't run from the depth, that doesn't shy away from difficult topics, that says, no, today's leg day. Today, we're gonna get sore, okay? Today, we're gonna do some work. have one community in your life, at least, that's not afraid of that. And then work those muscles, develop that rapport. Okay, not everyone is a political pundit. Not everybody does this for a day job. Not everybody's a staffer. Not everybody is like, you know what? Not everybody is smart enough. Not everybody has that IQ to wrestle with the big ideas of policy, especially like numbers type stuff, big macro policy things, geopolitics, international like stuff. Not everybody has the brain for that. That's just the way that life is, Kay. Some people didn't get dealt those cards, and others just don't have the time. Some people, some of you are super smart. You've definitely got the IQ for it, but you are aimed at something else. You are using, you're channeling your big brain at something else. Is it bad that you don't know anything about politics? I mean, I would argue that everybody sort of should know some about politics. But is it wrong that that's not your chief focus? No, I would say your time is best spent, whatever it is that you're channeling it at. If you're like, 1,000 examples, I'm sure you can think of them. Your time is best spent doing this thing that your gifting is in, yeah? Okay. We can't all be experts at everything, can we? We can't. I know you guys, some of you guys are just like tech wizards out there. And I'm like, I can't. And they're like, how come you haven't figured this out? Because I'm a lifetime behind, aren't I? You've done coding and toying around with programs since you were 13. But I haven't. I could pick it up and turn my brain to it, right? Aim the Eye of Sauron at coding. But what would that come at the expense of? This? Everything else that I do? I can't. So what do? I have a rapport with people who have done that. I develop relationships with people who have done that I trust, that I can go to and say, hey, I'm having this technical problem. And they go, all right, cool. You're going to have to go into like your registry edit. Okay. You're going to type in reg edit. And I'm like, oh, no. And I know them well enough to know that they're not trolling me. Well enough to know that they're not just like trying to brick my system. So they go, ha, nerd, loser. I trust them well enough to be useful to me here. Is politics different? The policies and all of that jazz, it just happens to sit atop worldview type stuff. And that's where the difference comes in, okay? But that's it. If you've got somebody with whom you see eye to eye on worldview stuff, and I would argue that those are the types of relationships that you need to foster most. The people who understand you at a deep level. That level. And you see eye to eye on worldview type stuff. Ask that person about politics. And if there's a level, if there's intellectual integrity there, if this is a person who has integrity, there's nothing wrong with asking people who understand you and your worldview. Hey, what did you do with this question? Hey, what did you do with this candidate? There's this controversy and what did you do? People are like, do your own research, yeah, I don't have unlimited time. I would say yes, have a surface level, at least, understanding of politics. I would call that something like civic duty, yes. I would say that each of us has a responsibility to touch this sort of stuff somehow in some way and to cast off this ridiculous idiom that all of us could answer at tonight's outset. All of us could answer the question, what are the 3 things we don't talk about? I think, yes, that is a useful shorthand to go at that dinner table with those really, really shallow relationships with relatives I never see. Maybe, just maybe, this isn't the place. The problem is we've taken that thing, that idiom, and we've painted painted with a broad brush over the rest of life and said, no, we never talk about it ever. I think we need to get rid of that. I think that in those relationships that you have worked for, that you have earned in the rendezvous groups, at some point when you feel that you've gotten there, talk about this. Ask a policy question. And the reason I'm saying this now is because it's basically too late. By the time we get, yes, I chose tonight on purpose. Now we can't, there's no group ahead of time. There is no cajoling. There's no confronting. There's no questioning. There's no convincing. Nope. I'm not coercing anybody. There's no more time. The next rendezvous group we have will be the day after. It'll be too late. Too late to change this one. My hands are tied. Sorry. Couldn't do anything to influence the minds of people. By design. Nothing up my sleeves. I'm in this for you. I'm in this for the long run. I'm not in this for something, no matter how strongly I believe that thing right now, I don't believe an abuse of you is worth bringing that thing about. Because my worldview that sits underneath my entire way of being says that what is more important than winning, being right, getting to say, I told you so, getting to say, yes, I was shrewd and I wielded my platform, my power to get 7 extra votes for such and such. My worldview says what is far more important than any of that is you. And this. My worldview informs how I vote with my time, with my energy, with my heart, and with my mind. You're too important. You're too important. I asked earlier, why would we do those books at the beginning of the year? You're not objects. You're people, damn it. And I refuse to treat you like objects. Such discussions. Welp. That's annoying. It's back, but did it kill YouTube? No? YouTube recovered? That's shocking. That's shocking. Oh, it is time. It is time check. Okay. All right. Very last thing I'll say then. Very last thing I'll say. It could get dark in the next couple months, gang. A week from tonight, I told you it is my plan to be here doing plant streams. That is my plan. That's all that I can share with you is my plan. Nothing new under the sun, nothing changes. Humans are humans. I stand by all of that. I've got my convictions. I've got my marching orders for trying to create content worthy of you. And that doesn't change, no matter who's in office, no matter what happens. But That doesn't mean we might not be headed not good timing for this. Thank you, Wisdom Sponge. It's not likely, but it's possible. Technically, it's within the realm of possibility that the infrastructure required to do this with you is in some way impaired by next time I'm supposed to stream. By next time I would be scheduled to do the plant streams. Tomorrow night I'll be here doing the moss polls, but like next week, okay? It's possible. There's a group in the United States that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. It's annoying me that I can't recall this. But there's a group. It's some sort of like a prepper group. It's some sort of survivalist group. It's
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Fry, thank you for the follow. I take them very seriously. A very serious vote of confidence indeed. I hope to earn it. Thank you. There is a group in the United States, okay? It's an organization that has land in various places throughout the country.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Crow, thank you also for the follow. The sentiment is the same. I hope to earn it. This org is scattered across the country geographically, okay? And based on the intel that they have about past human behavior and current feeling in the country, current political sentiment in the country, they have called up their members. And what that means is the people who are part of this program have been told, travel to our sites. It's time. Time for what? Time to shelter. Time to hunker down. These are bunkers, okay? Bunkers across the country, bunkers with food, water, shelter, whatever. And it's time to hunker down because it's about to get ugly. There are people out there who do not have any interest in what we are doing. They are interested first and foremost in being right. Okay? And their pride will be damaged beyond repair if they are wrong. If they don't win. Right? People don't change. And there are people out there who may do terrible things to one another, to our infrastructure, to who knows? I say that to say this. No matter what happens, my aim does not change. My work does not change. My charge does not change. Your worth does not change. I don't care how you vote. Your worth doesn't change. I say all the time, I'm trying to create content, meaningful content, because you're meaningful. That doesn't change. No matter what you do with an election, no matter what you don't do with an election, and no matter what happens in terms of fallout because of an election, that doesn't change. I want to make content that matters because you matter. And that doesn't change. I want to create something of value. I want to make a community of value because you have value. And that does not change. Those don't hinge on your political disposition or your political knowledge. Those don't hinge on whether or not the grid is up. Those don't hinge on any of that. They don't change. Damn it. So, as far as it's up to me, as far as it falls to me, I'm going to continue to edit, to lecture, to meet, to commiserate, to love. As far as it falls to me and my worldview, I will do every single thing in my power to build a community where you can do all of this, where you can work out these muscles, and where you can be okay through effort, through striving, no matter what the world throws at us. Thank you to everybody who was here tonight, to everybody who made the difficult decision to sit in on a topic as contentious as this. Perhaps you didn't know what it was at the outset and you decided to sit through it once we got into it anyways, and that speaks volumes. To everybody who made the time when you didn't have any to be here for this thing, it speaks volumes. And to each of you who, like me, decide today, decide now, no matter what happens next, I'm doing hard mode. No matter what happens next, I'm in this. That speaks volumes. And I consider it an enormous privilege to do life alongside such as you. Next stream is tomorrow. It's gonna be much sillier. Because we press on. You're too important not to. This is too important not to. I'll not lose an ounce of sleep. I'll not lose a wink of sleep. I'll not lose a wink of sleep over this. And I hope you don't either. That's the kind of peace that I want for you. I want each of you to know the peace that I do. I want each of you to sleep as soundly as I do. That's my ultimate aim for this community. I want each of you to thrive. What will it look like? The weeks ahead. What will it look like as people repeat the mistakes of yesterday? What will it look like as people try very hard to go about their lives? What will it look like as we here strive? In the face of all, in the midst of it, what will it look like to do this in spite of a world on fire? Come and see. Come and see. And as ever, I will strive to see that it's a decision that you don't regret. In the meantime, I wish for you each marvelous evenings, mornings, wherever ye be. And I will see you